This is just a quick tour around the D2L page for this course so you can see how I set it up, because I think probably every instructor sets it up a little bit differently. So I thought this little tour would help. So let me share. So this is the landing screen of the course, and I've got a little intro video there. And then when you get over here, one thing I wanted to show you, and you may well already know this, if you click on table of contents, and then you can collapse all of the modules, and each one of these over here is called a module. That sometimes makes it a little bit easier to see where you're at. In the start here, I put together an overview, and let me make this a little smaller. I put together a one-page overview that I think is a little bit clearer because of the deep index and so forth of everything, and in the same order that's on this D2L page. And so, oh, my teaching assistant wants to say hi. I wish, Gus, will you finish doing the D2L page? That would be much appreciated. Okay, so this is how it's organized, but I'll take you to the real thing and show you how I organized it. So let's go back to table of contents. So I've got some information about how to contact me, and my preferred, it's also in here, I've got a link for drop-in office hours and a link for our class meetings. My favorite way of doing it is if we have a scheduled meeting, and you can go to this website that I've set up and select an appointment. And when you do that, it will automatically create a unique Zoom meeting, and will generate the address and email it to both of us. And it will also email you reminders. So that's kind of cool. And the big benefit about scheduling an appointment, you see I have a few hours down here, but I have a whole lot more hours than that available if you go and schedule an appointment. Okay. Then in the important documents, I've got the syllabus, which you could take a look at, and it has information. I wish they'd pop up a little smaller. The usual textbook, how the grading works, although that's going to be a separate video in and of itself, and the usual boilerplate language about we adhere in our department to the writing across the curriculum plan that they came up with, and a word about academic integrity, a little bit of word about Title IX policy, including sexual harassment and sexual violence and where you should go for that. And I also included some student resources here. You can find this all over the IUP webpage as well, but I thought it'd be nice to have some of the more important ones. And you've got a little bit of a table of contents down there. And then this will be helpful, I hope. Now, why did it do that? Sometimes I'll fix that. But this includes every week of the course, and it includes what's due when, and it also, I put a star for every time we're meeting. So we're not meeting the Friday of this week. Right now it's January 24th. And then there will be some Fridays that we don't meet, but we're almost always meeting Monday and Wednesday unless there is a weird IUP holiday, because instead of having a regular spring break, they kind of threw those dates around the entire semester. So there's not because they thought it would be a bad idea for people to go home and come back because of the pandemic and so forth. So the reading response assignments, put those in green. Other kinds of assignments like the oral argument essay and the case briefs, I wrote in red. Anything to do with the simulation project, is highlighted in this kind of turquoise color. And then we'll have our last discussion. It won't be like a regular exam. It'll be a discussion that I'll give you lots and lots of guidelines for in a few weeks as we go on. I'm going to go back and collapse all. I've got a module where, and this is a work in progress, but I did want to get this up and running and sent out to you. There'll be reading reflection questions that are due every couple of weeks, and those will be posted here, and you'll also be able to upload your responses here. There will be assignment guidelines here for the case brief, the oral argument essays, and miscellaneous assignments, and I'll also add a place where you can upload those assignments. The simulation project, there's going to be an overview and some homework worksheets. And then I have to have IT help me with this, but you're going to have an opportunity once a week, and you can do it as many times as you want or not want, and I'll explain that later in the grading policy, but where you reflect on what you've learned that week and things that you've learned about your learning habits. And there'll be some general guidelines to help you with that. And then down here, as we go along, I'm gonna create one for each week. And after each class, I'll jot down the notes of what we covered, and I'll put that in a file. And I'll also upload any PowerPoints that we had during that week. So that's just a quick spin around the page. I'll talk about this in class tomorrow and as many times as you have questions about it. And I hope this makes sense. I'm not wild about how D2L looks visually. I think it's a confusing software to navigate. I've taken classes in it, and there are things that I believe, like Canvas or even Moodle, that are a lot more intuitively organized, but such is life. Anyway, I will see you soon.